Welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter Stephanatos, an agent with Compass on the main line and surrounding Philly suburbs. And today we're going to be talking about relocating to the Philadelphia suburbs, most frequently asked questions, okay? So if you've been thinking about relocating to the suburbs of Philadelphia, but not sure where to even start, you're definitely not alone, okay? This is one of the most common conversations I have with buyers who want more space, strong schools, and an easier lifestyle outside the city. In this video, I'm answering the most frequently asked questions about moving to the Philly suburbs. We'll cover what areas count as the suburbs, how the home buying process actually works in the Philly suburbs, and what interest rates mean for you, which lenders buyers commonly use, and what I recommend, what the lifestyle looks like, and how to know what you can comfortably afford. By the end of this video, you should feel much more confident about your next steps. Pretty sure we're going to be able to help you out here. So let's start with the big picture. One of the first questions buyers ask is, what exactly are the Philadelphia suburbs and why are they so popular? The Philly suburbs generally include areas across Montgomery County, Delaware County, and Chester County, and Bucks County. Popular towns you'll hear about include Media, Ardmore, Westchester, Havertown, Bluebell, Doylestown, Ambler, Villanova. Buyers are drawn to these areas for several reasons. You'll typically get access to higher rated schools, some of the highest rated public schools in all of PA actually. Quieter residential communities with parks, trails, lower crime rates compared to the city of course, and convenient commuter access to Philadelphia through SEPTA, regional rail lines, and major highways. Many buyers also love the balance of space, greenery, and local downtown amenities that the suburbs provide. You get a little taste of city living with suburban living without any compromise. The next question, so how can you see if you're approved for a specific house? Before seriously touring homes, the first step is getting pre-approved with a lender, okay? A pre-approval shows sellers that you're a serious buyer with a clearly defined price range. During the process, lenders review your income, assets, credit scores, and existing debts. You'll typically need to gather documents like tax returns, pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, and even your investments. I also recommend using an online mortgage calculator early on. I recommend using Guaranteed Rate. Some of my favorite lenders are there. I have great relationships with one of the senior lenders there that I always use for my go-to deals within the main line, surrounding suburbs. And I can send you just their online portal where you can fill it in and it'll let you know what you're actually approved for. And it's super simple. But even before that, using an online mortgage calculator early to understand what different price points look like on a monthly basis if you're new to the whole entire home affordability game is a great idea. You got to account for insurance, taxes, school taxes, utilities, and then obviously the mortgage, right? Like I said, I'd be happy to connect you with lenders that I work frequently with on the Philadelphia main line and surrounding Philly suburbs, and we'll definitely be able to help align you with what you're looking for and your budget. Another common question is about interest rates and how they impact affordability. So I believe rates actually fell. Today is February 21st. I'm recording this, and interest rates for the 30-year fell, I believe, almost under 6% today, like 6.05%. But recently the 30-year mortgage rates have been around the mid sixes, and with the 15-year being just a little bit lower than that. Your exact rate is going to depend on your credit profile, loan structure, market timing, your credit score, assets, liabilities, and obviously where rates are at that time. What many buyers underestimate is how sensitive buying power is to rates, okay? And this is something very unfortunate about the housing market. But roughly speaking, a 1% increase in interest rates can reduce your buying power by about 10%. You'll get 10% less house for every 1% more you have to pay in interest. And that is the unfortunate truth about buying a home with a high interest rate versus low interest rates like we did have around the pandemic era. Because of this, it's smart to compare multiple lenders and consider locking your rate when the timing makes sense. Right before a Fed meeting is what many buyers do. I actually had an offer where they were going to change interest rates where we thought they might hike interest rates the next day. So they locked their rate before, then they actually did up interest rates and they had a lower rate locked already. So locking your rate, based on what your lender was saying, I didn't know that off the top of my head, but my lender is absolutely fantastic and said, Pete, we have to lock this rate because rates are going up tomorrow. So just having a great lender is absolutely super important. Several lenders are commonly used in this market, like Trident Mortgage is very active within Pennsylvania buyers, and they understand the local programs. Guaranteed Rate is my go-to guys. I know one of the senior lenders there. I've done many deals with them from $2.5 million homes to $1 million homes. They're absolutely fantastic. They can get you pre-approvals really quickly. They can also get you mortgage commitments really quickly. I've gotten mortgage commitment from them in under 10 days before, which with a big bank, typically it's 30 to 45 days. So they're super efficient and they know how to play the Philly suburbs game in the sense of getting you those commitments and the timelines they can reach really quickly when other lenders can't. Because that's what the difference is sometimes in winning a house or losing a house, is how strong the lender is and the terms that they are able to agree upon. On top of that, local lenders can be especially helpful because they understand the township tax structures, common home styles in the suburbs, and pace of competitive transactions. So that's why if you're in the Philly suburbs, you definitely want to use a Philly suburbs agent because they're definitely going to have a suburbs lender they trust and also an inspector that has seen many Philly suburbs homes and knows what to look for within the area, because every area is different. When choosing a lender, I always do recommend when choosing a lender, compare interest rates. I just always go with guaranteed rate because they are always super competitive on rates anyway. But it is just great practice to compare interest rates, fees, communication speed, and reviews, and always ask whether there are any Pennsylvania specific first-time homebuyer programs at the time that you might be able to qualify for. Now, let's also talk about lifestyle, because many relocation buyers want to know what there actually is to do in the Philadelphia suburbs. So one of the biggest advantages of suburban Philadelphia is the access to the parks, outdoor space. Valley Forge National Historic Park offers extensive trails, open views, historic sites. Ridley Creek State Park is a favorite for hiking, biking, and fishing. Tyler State Park in Bucks County is known for scenic drives and wooded paths. Skunk Hollow Park in Radnor, where actually I go to fish quite often, is a quiet hidden little gem for nature lovers and for fishing. And Rose Tree Park Media is great for picnics, walking paths, and summer events. Whether you enjoy hiking, biking, dog parks, or just relaxing outdoors, the suburbs offer a wide range of options when it comes to outdoors. Also, the Radnor Trail, I don't know if I said that already. Radnor Trail is fantastic. You can ride your bike up and down there. Another major question buyers ask is, how do I know if I can afford a home in the suburbs? A common guideline is to keep your housing payment at or below around 28% of your gross monthly income, okay? That is like the baseline jargon that everyone says, and that's what I would stick with as well. Comfort levels may vary, that percentage is completely up to you. You also need to factor things in like property taxes with the Philly suburbs, which in the suburbs can be really rough, from $6,000 to over $40,000 for some townships at some price points. If you're looking around the main line, around $1 million house, that's going to be around $20,000 tax per year, including, everything. And then if you're looking at like, let's say media, for example, tax will be much lower, probably like $14,000, $15,000 for $1 million house. If you're looking at Broomall, it would probably be around $12,000 for $1 million house. Let's say Westchester or Newtown, it would probably be similar to Broomall, maybe a little bit less. But again, let me know your area. But the main line is the most rough when it comes to taxes for sure. For down payments, many conventional buyers put between 10 and 20% down. In today's market, 20% down or more, especially if you want to be more competitive with a financed offer, unless you're waiving your mortgage contingency, which I don't recommend, but some do. And FHA loans also can be as little as 3.5% down, although they might be less competitive in a multi-offer scenario, which is very common within the Philly suburbs as it is a very competitive market. But just know that that is one of your options. Say a home has been sitting for a long time, you want to do an FHA 3%, that is very doable. The best approach is to evaluate the full monthly payment, okay? Make sure if it's comfortably within your overall financial picture. I regularly help buyers narrow their search based on both budget, location, and overall their preferences and timeline. Now, are there any unique challenges to buying in the Philadelphia suburbs? Yes, there are a few to be aware of. Okay, so inventory can be very tight, especially in highly rated school districts like you have in media. I just mentioned Rose Tree Media school districts, highly regarded. Some of the highest regarded school districts across all of PA when it comes to public schools is Radnor Township, Lower Merion, Tredyffrin. These are three of the top public schools in all of PA where the taxes are the highest. Delaware County is unforgiving when it comes to taxes, as a rule of thumb around here. Many suburban homes are also older, which means inspections for roofing, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical systems are especially important, especially, again, to hit the point across home that you want to use a local agent, because that local agent is going to have local inspectors that have seen hundreds of Philadelphia suburb homes or Philadelphia mainline homes, whatever area you're in, and they know what to look for because all of these homes are, built around the same time, and they've seen every version of a Philadelphia suburban home, and they just know what to look for. So you definitely want to go with someone local for the entire process, okay? Another factor buyers sometimes overlook is township variability. Certain suburbs require use and occupancy permits, sewer certifications, or additional municipality inspections before closing. Having a local agent who understands these differences can help prevent surprises from coming up. Again, this just hits the point home again that just use a local agent from the area, someone who's grown up in the Philly suburbs. Finally, what neighborhood features should you prioritize? Well, this is really like all up to you. If walkability is important, towns like Media, Ardmore, Narberth, and Ambler are strong options because they have charming downtown areas. If schools are your top priority, buyers focus on districts like Tredyffrin, Lower Merion, Radnor, and even Central Bucks. If commuting into Philly is a part of your route, proximity to Route 476, I-95, or SEPTA regional trail stations can be a big difference in daily convenience. And in terms of overall feel, some suburbs have a more urban vibe like Ardmore, while others offer quieter cul-de-sac living like parts of Westchester or Bluebell and parts of Villanova. Matching the neighborhood personally to your lifestyle is key and what your needs are. If you want a bit of a yard, you're not going to be moving to Ardmore. You're going to be looking at somewhere maybe in Radnor or Villanova. To wrap this all up, relocating to the Philadelphia suburbs gives you access to strong schools, more living space, green surroundings, and a true sense of community. If you still have any questions about buying in the Philadelphia suburbs, reach out to me directly. I have my phone number and my email on screen, and also below we'll have a link where you can just fill out some simple info so we can get in touch with you. That just helps us understand exactly what you're kind of looking to do. I'm happy to help you evaluate towns, connect with you to better understand your situation, connect you with strong lenders, and build a clear step-by-step plan for you to move forward. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll have some of my recent deals where I either represented the seller or buyer on the screen. If you guys have any questions, like I said, you can even leave a comment down below. I'll respond to all the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share this around to someone else who might be looking in the area. And again, let us know if there's any way we can help you. It's been Peter Stefanatos with Compass within the Philly suburbs. Have a blessed 2026, everybody. Peace.